Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Check.
Finale, listen one more time.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Is it okay, or is it like? I think it's like I'm not speaking, and you can hear it. Like, okay.
We're going to get started in a little bit, so I'd like folks to please find a seat if you can. Open seating anywhere you'd like. All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dr. Rolf Noel, and I'm going to be your Master of Ceremonies this evening. Welcome to the class of 2026 military inductee ceremony. I'm a member of the American Legion Hayes Lodge Post 96, and I'm a retired Army colonel with 25 years of service. But we're here to come together to honor the outstanding young men and women who have decided to serve their country by joining the armed forces. We're also here with their parents and family who have helped them develop the character and integrity to make the most important decision of their lives. I congratulate all of you on your decision to join the military and serve your country. We are joined tonight by the Mayor of West Hartford, Sherry Cantor, and Superintendent of Schools for Newington, Maureen Brummett. There you are. Representatives of West Hartford Board of Education, the West Hartford Commission of Veterans Affairs, as well as principals and guidance counselors from the towns of Newington and West Hartford. At this time, I'd like everyone to stand, if you could, while we present the colors. American Legion Color Guard will present the colors. Please remain standing after that for the singing of the national anthem and the Pledge of Allegiance. Color Guard, post the colors. Present arms. We'll now have the singing of the national anthem. Color Guard, port arms. Hugh Waddle will now lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Hugh, can you come up here for that?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Color guard. Right shoulder, arms. Left, face. Post. Please have a seat. Brendan Boyle, the chaplain of the American Legion, Hazel Lodge, Post 96, will now give the invocation. He was in the color guard, so just give us a minute. We're also waiting for our speaker, who is a cross coach for the Conard High School team. They're playing Simsbury in the tournament. We're waiting for one of the students who's also in a track meet, I understand. Brendan, you want to give the invocation?
Thank you. As you prepare to step into military service, we send you with gratitude, pride, and hope. Always know you have the best wishes of the town of West Hartford and the people of West Hartford and the hopes and generations who have gone before you. May you walk with courage when the road is uncertain, wisdom when the decisions are difficult, and compassion in the hardest moments. May you always be honorable. May those who lead you do so with integrity, and may you be able to protect the vulnerable, respect human dignity, and seek peace whenever peace can be found. We pray for your safety in body, mind, and soul. We pray for your families who will wait, worry, and love you from afar. We pray that your service will help build a world where future generations may live with greater peace and justice. Go now with strength. Go now knowing you do not go alone. May God go with you, look over you, and keep you in times of danger. And may you have a safe return home with honor and with peace. Amen.
Thank you, Brendan. At this time, Captain Jim Calley, the commander of the American Legion Post 96, will make his opening remarks.
Good evening. On behalf of Post 96, I just want to say, first of all, we're delighted to see you here. It is a wonderful night to celebrate our new inductees. I want to just speak directly to our new inductees with some short remarks. Can they stand, please? Do we have them? Sir, where are you going to be going to? Very well. Marines? Air Force. Thank you. You can be seated. These remarks are really meant for you. Okay? You are embarking on a noble affiliation, the storied armed forces of the United States. The armed forces are vital organs of the United States, and their purpose is to defend us and our friends when diplomacy fails. The method is violence, cold and simple. And this is where you are headed. In the beginning, your job will be to follow those who are ahead of you. In a short time, your job will be to lead those who came after you. The righteousness of what you are being asked to do and what you ask of others must never be ignored. You know, I think of our late President John F. Kennedy, who captured this in a speech he had prepared to deliver on the day that he died. In his pocket was a speech he had prepared for the trademark that he was never able to deliver. And an excerpt from that speech is as follows. We in this country, in this generation, are, by destiny rather than choice, the watchmen on the walls of world freedom. We ask, therefore, that we may be worthy of our power and responsibility, that we may exercise our strength and wisdom and restraint, and that we may achieve in our time and for all time the ancient vision of peace on earth, goodwill towards men. That must always be our goal, and the righteousness of our cause must always underlie our strength. For as was written long ago, except the Lord keep the city, the watchman waketh but in vain. And he was referring there to Psalm 127. And I say to you that are embarking on this journey, keep righteousness close by in whatever you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. This is the 11th year that American Legion has sponsored this ceremony, and it would not be possible without the support of the Office of the Superintendent of Schools. The American Legion is extremely grateful to Paul Vacinis, Kristen Banning, and Griselle Alvarez from that office. At this time, Command Sergeant Major Paul Vacinis, Superintendent of Schools for West Hartford, will make his opening remarks.
Thank you all. Thank you, Ralph. Good evening, everyone. Commander Cabri, Commander Zimmerman, Mayor Cantor, members of the Board of Education, educational leaders, Superintendent Brummett, and our educational leaders, and most importantly, family, invited friends, and the graduating class of 2026. It's an absolute pleasure and an honor to be able to address you this evening at our 2026 military inductee ceremony. I'm here tonight. I represent West Hartford Public Schools as its superintendent, but I'm equally honored to stand before you in uniform, representing not only the 3,700 men and women of the Connecticut Army National Guard, but also the less than 1% of Americans who have answered the call to serve our nation's armed forces, to be always ready, always there. That statistic, less than 1%, it carries significance. As 1%ers, you stand out. You stand out because you stood up. You stepped forward. You chose a path that asks more of you than most paths ever will. It's a life that'll demand discipline, sacrifice, resilience, and courage, but it's also a life marked with camaraderie, honor, purpose, and accomplishment. As 1%ers, you now stand ready to defend the freedoms enjoyed by the other 99% of Americans, people who may never fully know the weight of what you carry on their behalf. And that is precisely why we're here tonight, to honor you, regardless if we have 25 or just the 5. This ceremony recognizes the significance of your choice, a commitment to something larger than yourself. Whether knowingly or not, your fellow citizens will rely on your willingness through service to preserve their way of life. Your willingness to accept that responsibility is what sets you apart. Author Tim O'Brien once wrote about the things that they carried. Soldiers. Soldiers carried rifles, ammunition, and equipment, but they also carry fear, hope, loyalty, memories of home, and the weight of responsibility for one another. And service members are not the only ones who carry those burdens. It's families, mothers and fathers, spouses and children, friends and loved ones who also serve in support of our military, our mission, and our freedoms. As this great nation approaches America's 250th anniversary, we are reminded that this experiment in liberty did not endure by chance. It endured through choice. It endured because generation after generation chose service. When word of Lexington and Concord reached Connecticut in April of 1775, nearly 4,000 Connecticut patriots answered the call to arms. They were farmers, laborers, tradesmen, fathers and sons. They did not know whether independence was possible, whether victory was likely, or whether they themselves would survive. They simply understood that duty required action. Today, nearly that same number of citizen soldiers serve in the Connecticut Army National Guard, for which I represent. Roughly 3,700 men and women, brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, sons and daughters, stand ready to defend our freedoms. Hundreds are currently deployed overseas in support of Operation Epic Fury. Among them, members of the 192nd Military Police Battalion, including soldiers from the 143rd Military Police Company stationed right here in West Hartford. Friends, neighbors, former students, colleagues. With little more than 72 hours' notice, they left behind jobs, schools, and families to answer the nation's call. And while they serve abroad, their families serve here at home. And tonight we recognize you families as well, because military families also carry something for this nation. They carry worry, sacrifice, uncertainty, and separation. But they also carry pride, patriotism, faith, and the quiet strength that sustains those who serve. To the parents and families here tonight, I say thank you. Your support, your encouragement, your sacrifice helped shape the character of these young men and women long before they ever raised their right hand. And to our inductees, the class of 2026, as you prepare to leave familiar places and step into unfamiliar challenges, know this: you are joining a long and honorable line of Americans who believe that freedom is worth serving, protecting, and preserving. You carry forward a tradition older than the nation itself. So heed these words: serve with humility, lead with integrity, take care of one another, and never forget that the strength of our military has always rested not simply in its power, but in the character of the people willing to serve. Tonight we honor your choice. We're proud of you and we thank you for answering the calls to serve. May God bless you, your families, the men and women serving around the globe tonight in the United States of America. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul. Before we eat, we're going to have the Hall High School Choraleers to provide a short musical interlude.
What an honor. The world learned percussion first, boots bruising meaning into the earth while cities wore grief like another season. And still somewhere beneath the ruin, music carried its small figure forward, its quiet voice threading through hollow churches, through hands taught more about hurting than holding. But the world had hardened. Men walked with iron in their chest, children learned fear too early, and mercy became something fragile. But song tried anyway, and for a moment someone lowered their rage enough to listen. Someone remembered, and music refused disappearance. Trumpets drifted through the streets, licks blooming in crowded rooms where people gathered with their hands open. And somewhere Broadway kept its lights awake, turning sorrow into movement, giving strangers the comfort they once lost. Until for one breath, the world remembered harmony was once more than a metaphor.
That was outstanding. Thank you, all high school choraleers. So at this time, we're going to start our food service. We're going to start with table 1. That'll be this table right here, sort of the Newington table. You guys look the hungriest, so why don't you go first? And then we'll go with 2, 3, and we'll go over there. Folks, you can go on up there now. folks that are done with your main meal, please consider having some coffee and dessert. We'll get started in a little bit with the rest of the program. this time, I'm going to ask Xander Boss to come up and say a few words. Xander is a West Hartford resident, graduate of Xavier High School. He was honored last year at this military inductee ceremony before going off to West Point and suffering through plebe year. Having done that many, many years ago, I know it was an arduous endeavor, but just wants to say a few words about his first year in the Army.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for having me here today. It's been a pleasure here to be here today as we honor the high schoolers going in the military who have stepped up and answered the call to serve. Thank you to the family, the friends, the supporters who are here on behalf of these featured servicemen and women. My name is Zonder Boss. I grew up in West Hartford, and I graduated Xavier High School in Middletown last year. I'm entering my yearling year at West Point, and I speak not having had a long military career behind me, but having sat in those seats just last year, where you are sitting now. I'm here because I remember exactly how I felt last year, and I have some things I wish someone had told me before I left. The first is, be the person that people look to for positivity, not the person who drags everyone down. I remember a huge linebacker from my basic training who was always making light of every situation. I know he struggled on runs, but because he pushed through it despite his size, and it was positive throughout it all, it made all the difference for everyone else. Every single one of you will go through things that are less than optimal, but no matter how hard a time you're having, there's always someone else in a worse situation. You could always have a better MRE, less rain, and more ammo, but a good attitude will change everything. Second is, make meaningful relationships. You will always need the people around you. There will be times for every single one of your battle buddies where they're going through something, and you're there for a reason. Become that resource of advice, that word of encouragement, and always be dependable. Also, be attentive to what people tell you. People use the phrase attention to detail a lot to describe things like uniform inspections and your equipment, but it's more than that. Looking for the detail in your friends, your subordinates, and you'll know when they need you. We serve the United States not because it's just about us, but the fellow soldiers around us. And then lastly, remember who is behind you when you serve. Call them regularly. The family and friends that surround you now, supporting this major decision of your life, are the reason that the hard times are all worth it. Every early morning, long day, and late night is for the people that you are here to support and defend. I know that every single one of you will go on to do great things, and whether you serve just a few or many years, your nation thanks you for your service. And finally, because this speech wouldn't be complete without it, go Army and beat Navy.
Thank you, Xander. It's time to introduce our keynote speaker tonight, Connor Tracy. Connor was raised in West Hartford and is a graduate of Conard High School and Colgate University. He joined the United States Marine Corps while at Colgate and completed OCS at Quantico, Virginia. He was commissioned in the year 2000. He served tours of duty in Kuwait and Iraq before leaving the Marines in 2006 to pursue his MBA at University of Connecticut. He is currently a vice president and general manager for Pratt & Whitney. And most importantly, he's the coach of the Conard lacrosse team, which beat Simsbury tonight 10-5. So let's hear it. He and his wife Liz have 3 children. They live here in West Hartford. And more importantly, well, very importantly, last Veterans Day, the Tracy family funded and oversaw the installation of a flagpole and giant American flag at Robert McKee Stadium at the Conard High School field. And many of the veterans who are here today were at that ceremony. We really, really appreciate it. So, Connor, thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, so this is, for those counting, this is the 3rd time I've got to address folks in the audience, first the flag last night and today. So I keep winging it, and every time I'm up here, there's more winging it and more winging it, so stand by. First off, to the Army guys. So my wife and I both played sports at Colgate, so I'm sorry, but there's at least one L on the scoreboard every year for you guys, so sorry to tell you. You know, last night I had the honor of speaking to the entire Memorial Day parade celebration, even though it was in here. You know, that was a conversation about Memorial Day itself, and this is a conversation more about the decisions that, I think it's 5 now, right? Rolf, there's 5 of us in the room here today that are joining, is that right? Yep, 1, 2, 3, hands. 1. What are you going to do, sir? Air Force ROTC, okay, where are you going to school? Very well. Who else? Yes, ma'am? Sweet. Who else? Yes, sir? Enlist in the Marine Corps? Fantastic. And one more, right? Yes, sir? Coast Guard. Awesome. Awesome. So thank you, first off. And for the West Point cadets, pretty awesome. Thank you for doing this last year and making it to year 2. The conversation, you know, the conversation I had back when we did the flag at Conard was a little personal, but it was really why did we do it? Why did the fields of Conard High School matter? And it sort of bleeds into this conversation tonight because it gets into why I joined, right? And as Rolf said, my brother and I both grew up here. We went to Webster Hill, and he is still on active duty. I got out, so proving the right brother stayed and the right brother got out because he has made it to 29 years, something like that, 30 years now, and I'm not sure I would have. I kept telling people what I thought, and at a certain point I decided maybe I should go tell civilians what I thought and see if I could be successful in that arena. But we'll spend a little bit of time on my personal choice and why it matters today and maybe what you folks have felt. So why did I join? Well, I knew early on that I wanted to join because I'd lived, frankly, a pretty charmed life. Not that there weren't struggles and not that everything was easy, but life in West Hartford is pretty good. And it's still pretty good. And again, not without its trials, but looking with a global perspective, even looking with a perspective across the state, you can see that we have a community that nurtures us, that supports us in the school system, that funds us through a lot of our activities in school and out of school. I knew it was unique, even when I was growing up. So there was a sense of gratitude there and a desire to give something back. I also, you know, I was old enough to remember the end of the Cold War. I remember when the wall came down. I remember watching that happen and knowing what that meant. But we had not been attacked. So for me, it was pre-9/11. So there was not a sense of injustice or insecurity that some of us might feel today, stemming from 2 wars and 25 years of armed conflict. But I was a product of American pop culture, right? So as I mentioned yesterday, I watched, along with anyone around here who's got a bunch of stripes on their sleeves, I watched Top Gun 30 times. I watched Rocky IV 300 times. I watched Full Metal Jacket, hence the Marine Corps. You know, I watched Platoon, I watched Born on the 4th of July, I drank Coca-Cola and ate McDonald's, right? So as a product of American pop culture and being old enough to see the spread of American pop culture and, frankly, what it did to the Soviet Union, I realized that I had an ingrained sense of patriotism for those things that I witnessed and grew up with. And I was appreciative of that. Again, I didn't have a religious zeal, nor did I have a desire to make us safer as a country because it was peacetime. It was more about service back then. 15 months after I actually was commissioned in the Marine Corps, which was years and years after I first went to OCS, you know, 9/11 happened, and that radically changed what we were going to do and how I was going to live out the rest of my time in the service. Now, there was also selfish reasons, right? So those were pretty highfalutin reasons. There's also, like, a little introspection. There were some selfish reasons. I was a fairly successful athlete at Conard. I really enjoyed my time on the athletic fields. Football, hockey, lacrosse, playing sports growing up. So I was a young man that, when doing physical activity, I found that team bonding and that environment rewarding. And I wanted to continue that. I was going to college to play lacrosse at Colgate, so clearly I was down that track, but that wasn't enough. That wasn't enough. So in retrospect, and one of the reasons we did the flag, bringing it back to the introduction, was we were formed on those fields of Conard High School and in the rink. That competitive environment, that physical environment, forming a team and giving yourself to the greater good is why we helped with that flag. High school is really the first time that we subvert our own will for the good of the team. Up until high school, everybody gets a trophy, right? Everybody gets a medal. We get maybe not equal playing time, but everyone gets to touch the field. And then in high school, it starts to matter, and the records start to last forever. No one remembers if I won the 13-year-old American Legion baseball game or baseball league I played for Hotspot. Anyone remembers the Hotspot? You don't know if I won in 1986, but you do know that Conard High School won the state championship, hockey state championship in 1986, because that banner still hangs in the rink. So it matters, right? It matters. And that's a hard part of your life. It's hard to do what the team needs instead of do what you want. And it starts, for me, in the athletic arena at Conard. That can happen, by the way, in the band, in the musical, who's going to be the first clarinet, all those other things. I don't mean to relegate it to the athletic field, but that's where I spent most of my time. So I go to Colgate. I walked into recruiter freshman year, and, well, actually, let me back up for the West Point guys in the room. So I have to apologize. I did go through the West Point process. I got into West Point, and I was going to go to West Point, and then I decided I wanted to be a Marine. And back then, the way you became a Marine from West Point is you found someone from the Naval Academy, and you switched 1 for 1 after graduation. And I said, there ain't no way a sailor from the Naval Academy is going to switch with me 1 for 1 and let me go be a Marine. So I decided, hey, I can play in the same conference as Army, and I can go to college at Colgate and be a Marine. So, I'm a quitter. I quit on Army, I'm sorry. But what I said to myself freshman year is I want to find that team, to find myself surrounded by people who would subvert their will, what they want to do for the good of the team. That's what you folks are getting into right now. Space Force, Air Force, Coast Guard, Marine Corps, Army, Navy. You are about to embark on a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 20 years, 29-year career, surrounding yourself with people who want to and will subvert their health and well-being for yours. And that is super powerful. It's super powerful, and it's very rewarding. And my recommendation to you is however long you're there, you take advantage of that, because it can change you forever. It will change you forever. The night before we flew out, we had to drive up to Albany, had to fly down to OCS for my very first time. So this was in '97, call it, summer of '98. And we're in the hotel room before the Marine Corps gunnery sergeant came and picked us up, put us on an airplane. And my dad turned to me and he said, "Connor, I'm jealous of you." And I was feeling scared, I was feeling lonely, I was feeling apprehensive about getting on an airplane and going down to OCS. I said, "How can you be jealous of me, Dad?" And he said, "There are very few people in this world that know before a life-changing event that it's about to happen. You are lucky because you know it's about to happen. There's a lot of people out there who look back over the years and they can pinpoint a moment or a decision or an event that changed their lives for the better or the worse. You five are lucky. You are about to go into something that's going to change your life forever, and you know it's coming. So congratulations. I am jealous of you. One final thing. The young cadet just said it. So to the loved ones, to the parents, to the brothers and sisters, these five have it easy. They have it easy compared to what you have coming. So I'm in a fairly unique position where I have been both the deployed service member and I have been the service member at home watching someone be deployed, my older brother. Not to mention friends and all, but let's just go with blood relatives. So watching my older brother go. And you've been paying attention. It's been a hectic couple of years, in the last 29 years. So I have seen my folks take the tact where they watch CNN every day, and I have seen my folks take the tact where they don't watch CNN. I have been in a place to watch CNN every day or not watch CNN and just wait for the 6 months to be over or whatever it's going to be. So you're absolutely right. You guys, you have the easy part, you guys and gals. As jealous as I am of you, here's a warning. Call home. Call your mom, call your dad, call your brother, and call your sister, because they're waiting for information and they want to know you're okay. They want to know what you're up to. They want to know how much fun you're having and how much your life is changing for the better. So with that, that's my piece of advice for the five of you. And just in closing, I'm jealous. I'm jealous. So good luck, congratulations, and thank you.
Thank you for those excellent remarks, Connor. We'll now begin the portion of our program where we recognize the young men and women who made the commitment to serve their country. So I'm going to ask the presenters to please come up over here by the table. Tonight, each honoree will be receiving a special cord that'll be worn on their graduation gown. They'll also have a military commitment certificate and American Legion thank you coin. We have 4 high school seniors that we're going to honor, and one unfortunately can't make it because of a school play. We have 2 Zoomies, a squid, and a jarhead. So I'm just very disappointed there's no Army people going in the Army, and I'm sure Captain Calais, there's no Navy folks either. But we have a Marine, and we have 2 Air Force, and the squid was the Coast Guard. So the first person I'm going to call up is Dylan Andrade from Newington High School. And Dylan is going into the United States Coast Guard. He's going to be doing his training initially in New Jersey, and then he hopes to be stationed in Groton. And the next person we have is Skyla Martin. Please come on up. Skyla's a Hall High School senior. She'll be going to the University of Southern California. She's going to be ROTC and going into the Air Force. She's going to major in surfing out there. I made that up. That's not true. And next we'll honor Hugo Wattel. He's a Conard High School senior. He is also going, Hugo is also going in the United States Air Force. He's going ROTC. He's going to the University of New Hampshire, where he'll major in snow sports.
And push-ups.
And push-ups. And our last honoree tonight is Jack Williams from Newington High School. He's a senior. He's following in the footsteps of his father, going into the United States Marine Corps. Paris Island is gorgeous this time of year. Thank you, presenters. You can return to your seats. Let's give these folks a hand. We have a member of the West Hartford Board of Education, Latoya Yagaloff, who will just make some closing comments. Latoya?
All right. Prepared some words for you all. Interestingly enough, next week, 20 years ago, was when I left for Paris Island. And so, yeah, it's wild. And I was like, that's kind of weird because I still feel 20, so I don't know. Good evening, everyone. First of all, congratulations to each of the students being recognized tonight. Choosing to serve is not a small decision. It's a commitment rooted in courage, discipline, sacrifice, and purpose. As a veteran of the United States Marine Corps, URA, I know that the uniform changes you, but I want to encourage you to be willing to stand up in dress blues and greens, camos, or jeans and a t-shirt. Though you may serve your time, you'll never stop being a warrior or a soldier. I know I haven't. As you move through life, the bullies and the villains and the enemy will not always look the same. Sometimes they are obvious. Sometimes they wear suits instead of armor. Sometimes they appear in systems of injustice, discrimination, greed, abuse of power, silence in moments when people should speak up. No matter where life takes you, hold tight to your integrity. Stand on what is just. Protect those who cannot protect themselves. When you take that oath, you swear to use your strength to serve not just some people, but all people. America was built on the backs of brilliance, sacrifices, and stories of many cultures, identities, and communities. It takes all of those diverse voices and lived experiences working together to make this country safer, stronger, and more just for everyone. I also want to speak honestly about discipline, as our superintendent touched on earlier. My time in the Marine Corps gave me a level of discipline that continues to live inside of me every single day. That discipline helped me graduate college early, and it's helped me recently complete a 2.5-year master's program in just 11 months. It's helped me push through barriers, break records, and receive honors and awards I never imagined possible, including recognition from senators, congresspeople, and even a Lifetime Achievement Award from President Joe Biden. So hear me clearly, none of it was easy. There were moments when I questioned myself, moments when I was exhausted, moments when I wanted to quit, and in those moments, I leaned on my brothers and sisters I served with. People who understand what it means to risk everything if it means helping someone survive, heal, or make it through another day. Never be afraid to call on your people. Let your brothers and sisters in uniform help you shake the dust off your feet and keep moving forward during the hard seasons in life. Because discipline is what kicks in when motivation runs out. Discipline is what allows people to trust you, follow you, and believe in you. Being a soldier, being a warrior is not about screaming into the void. It's about rolling up your sleeves, tightening the laces on your boots, crawling when you have to, climbing when you must, fighting through adversity, and finishing the mission. We get things done. And so tonight, I honor each of you for your willingness to stand, to serve, and to step into something bigger than yourselves. Congratulations on the journey ahead, and thank you for being willing to answer the call.
Thank you, LaToya. Brendan Boyle will now offer the benediction. Come on up, Brendan. And this will conclude our ceremony, but I'd like to have the 4 honorees come up to the stage. We're going to get a group picture of you before you take off. And also the West Hartford Commissioners of Veterans Affairs. Got a picture of you folks, too. Brendan?
It's a hard act to follow. You did a great job. In a world that moves quickly and often decides, we are grateful for moments like this, moments of laughter, reflection, friendship, and love. May this gathering remind these 3 young people that they don't leave alone, but with the prayers, pride, and the affection of the entire community. God bless you all. Amen.
All right, thank you all for coming. That concludes our ceremony. Honorees, you could please come up front for a minute.